Better get used to that. With spooky season upon us, my loyal viewers, that means it's time for me to start looking at horror-themed games this month, specifically for the NES. But with so many to choose from, I can't really narrow it down to which ones I'm gonna look at. So, I guess for today, I'm picking one that may seem a little out of left field to some, that being Splatterhouse, Wanpaku Graffiti for the Famicom. For context, Splatterhouse is a series that started as an arcade game where you play as a guy named Rick.
I'm Rick Harrison.
Who's resurrected by a totally not Jason Voorhees mask, and he has to go through numerous obstacles to rescue his girlfriend, Jennifer. The game was notorious for showing gruesome blood and gore, which was unheard of at the time, and it made all the parents complain about it alongside Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, which would ultimately cause the ESRB to be formed. Nowadays, Splatterhouse is pretty tame compared to the second game, which is what I'm going to be looking at today, is considered a semi-prequel / parody of the first arcade game, and its art style is inspired by both chibi and super deformed looks that were both popularized by anime like Dragon Ball, SD Gundam, and Hello Kitty. And if you're curious, Wanpaku is Japanese for naughty or mischievous. I'm not sure how this relates to the game because there's no graffiti in it, but definitely mischievous things. Well, enough about the name, let's begin by looking at the opening. The story of the game is simple. Jennifer is weeping over the loss of her boyfriend when Rick is suddenly brought back to life, which Jennifer is happy to see, even though I would definitely have a million questions if I saw my significant others suddenly come back to life via lightning. But at the same time, the Pumpkin King appears and takes her for himself. So Rick takes a break from the pawn shop business to go kick some pumpkin butt and get his girlfriend back. Not the weirdest plot to a video game I've seen. Hey, it could be worse. You could have sentient turtles that want to have interspecies marriage.
Oh no! Anyway.
The game is a 2D hack and slash platformer where you have to slash enemies in your way, get to the boss, beat them, lather, rinse, repeat until you get to the Pumpkin King, beat him, and save Jennifer. It's then revealed that this was all just a movie being acted out, and after being complimented by the director, Rick and the others go out to get ice cream or something, I don't know. Yeah, with this art style, that wouldn't surprise me. But in a twist, the mask prop Rick was wearing is revealed to be possessed, and that's it? That's the game? If you found the hidden orbs by going through this machine to Japan and by dodging out of the way of this goon and heading through this door, which takes you to Egypt, yeah, that makes sense. Then after watching this random Egyptian and Japanese lady dance for you, you then receive the orbs. At this point, I don't even know why we're wanting to rescue Jennifer. I'd be perfectly fine here with these hotties.
Too horny! Horny!
Eyes on the prize, man. At the end of the game, you see 2 additional scenes of Rick and Jennifer being all happy and cute, and then they're heading towards a mansion during a storm, possibly foreshadowing the events of the first game. You start the game with not that much health.
What the fuck is that?
Every time you beat an enemy, you gain a point, and by reaching a certain number shown on the screen, you level up and get more health, which in this game,
you're gonna need it.
You only have 1 life and 5 continues, so don't think you could just blindly cut everything in your way. Take your time. Watch the enemy's behavior, and strike at the right time. There's no time limit, so you don't have to worry.
Oh, thank God.
I really dig the visuals, not just the art style, but the backgrounds too. They can be very eerie and detailed, especially these in-between shots, though the translation is a bit off and a little distracting. The music also helps with that too. The tracks aren't that particularly memorable, but they do set the mood well and get the job done. One of the main things to love about the game is all the references to other horror icons and films. Like literally halfway through the first level, you fight a vampire summoning zombies to the beat of Michael Jackson's Thriller. Man, I love that stuff. Oh shit! It was distracting me! Other references include The Exorcist, The Fly,
There may be trouble ahead.
Friday the 13th,
Wait a minute!
the Wolfman.
That's right, a lovely stroll on the moors. Tra-la-la-la-la.
Maybe Castlevania, Alien, Jaws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Evil Dead. The bosses are cool, but some of them are a pain in the ass, like this chicken coop. A chicken coop as a boss. How clever. Well, too bad it goes on a little too long for my liking. And that's the problem with a decent amount of bosses in this game, is that they just take forever and they keep going on and on forever. Like the chicken coop, for example, and then there's this wolfman who takes a decent amount of hits, so I could never figure out how to dodge him properly. And the final boss, I swear to God, takes like over 20 hits before he finally decides to go down. I mean, I like the game overall, but the bosses definitely could have, you know, gone down a lot faster, but that's just how I feel. Then there's this stupid rat in the sewers that pushes you away. You can beat it in one hit, but the timing to hit the rats in the way is really off-putting, and if you get hit, you have to do it over again until you hit it. The game is decently generous with health drops with candy, which is appreciated, but I'm not eating something out of the trash. While the lack of lives is frustrating, there is a password feature, so it's not too annoying, I guess. There aren't that many stages, so it shouldn't take too long to get to the end. But anyway, after defeating the final boss, which isn't too hard to do once you find the way around the projectiles, and see the ending, I have to say, this game was a decent surprise. It's a fun little platformer that's in a funny page in the history book of Splatterhouse. The art style may be off-putting to some, especially if you were used to the gory, gritty look of the arcade game.
Don't! Or else! Okay?
But as someone who's seen a fair share of styles in games, I highly recommend you at least see the game for what it is. It's mostly just a parody of the OG game, but factoring the looks with the solid gameplay, it stands on its own non-existent legs as a fun platforming game. The visuals and references alone make it a fun game to try out. It's a shame it was exclusive to the Famicom for a long time, but now it's easily available on the Namco archives on modern systems. If you're itching for a retro spooky game this Halloween, give this a try, see if you like it. And hey, who knows, maybe you too can know what peak gaming is like with the dancing vampire and zombies. Well, it may be the end of Wanpaku Graffiti, but I still have plenty of old school horror games to take a look before this is over. So, until then, thanks for watching and look forward to the next part. What is that? Oh shit! Hey! Over here, you big freak! Yeah! I don't know how Rick was able to beat that thing with that mask on. Wait a minute. The mask. That's it. I know what I'm gonna look at next.